Hello, Satbir Chadha ji.
Hello.
Greetings from Toronto, dear viewers. Sangeeta Sharma here, back with the 27th episode of the limited video series of Literary and Critical Conversations, Season 2. As this episode coincides with English Language Day, which is observed on 23rd April every year, I extend my warm wishes to all of you. Let's celebrate the power of English language. From Shakespeare to social media, English has evolved to connect the world. Well, friends, today we have Satbir Chadha, a very senior and very sweet guest with us, who is a poet, novelist, and short story writer. On behalf of Setu, I extend a personal welcome to her. Though a very well known and highly respected writer, a brief intro is absolutely relevant here. Born in Nainital, she is the author of the highly acclaimed novel For God Loves Foolish People, for which she won the Royal International Prize for Literature in 2017. Her next novel, Betrayed, a medical thriller, published by Vitatsa, received much public applause. Her poems and short stories find place in several national and international anthologies, including Vibrant Voices and the recent Silver Ears, published by Sahitya Academy. She has 4 published poetry titles: Breeze, Glass Doors, The Last Lamb, and I Want to Go to Haldwani, and other poems. Her latest novel is Hills and Lakes. She is the recipient of the Litpreneur Award instituted by the leading publishing house Authors Press in 2019 and the Setu Award of Excellence 2024. Satbir Chadha has instituted the Nissim International Award for Literature, which is awarded every year to upcoming writers in English prose and poetry. She lives in Delhi with her 4 sons and 8 grandchildren. With this, I extend a hearty welcome to her for the 27th episode of the limited video series of Literary and Critical Conversations, Season 2. Welcome, Satbir Chadha.
Thank you so much. And for the honor, I'm really honored uh, and humbled because Setu is such a big name, and to be associated and invited to talk here and share my views here is really, really a marvelous feeling to me. I'm elated. Thank you so much. And thank you to Sunil Bhai and everyone else in the team. And of course, it is just fresh that we celebrated the Setu Lit Fest, the very
Ah,
first time in Delhi,
mhm.
and 3 days of literature and art and uh, theater and whatnot. So I was there all the 3 days, and it was a mesmerizing event. I want to
That's good.
congratulate you too.
Thank you so much for being there for the event on all 3 days. And you are all there in all the pics and videos. So thank you for that. Let's begin with our conversation now. Sadbir Chadadi, you spent your childhood years in Nainital. Let us time travel to those years again. How was Nainital then and now how is it?
Nainital was such a beautiful, uh, pristine. It was, you cannot imagine, It's as you enter Nainital, you enter a region where everything ends. There's just the lake in the middle and the green hills on all the sides,
Mhm.
and all houses on top of the hills, nothing much on the roads down. And there was no vehicular traffic, no motor traffic around anywhere within Nainital.
Mhm.
So when I was small, I remember even the governor of the province, when he came to Nainital, he would get off his special car
Mhm.
outside. That place is called Dant. Dant is where motor vehicles end. All
Mhm.
buses stop, all cars, nothing comes beyond that. So he would
Oh.
get off his car and take a horseback horse ride to his governor's lodge. It was a good 3 miles. And
Mhm.
I've heard that he sometimes even walked because we all walked. We all
Mhm.
walked. And there
Oh.
was no other, that was all you could do. And it was thrilling to walk all around Nainital, up and down the hills. And also, the only mode, I mean, the only need to travel by any mode of transport was on the two sides of the lake, the Thandi Sarak, which connects one end of the lake to the other, Talital to Malital. So on that road, you'd have rickshaws plying, those old fashioned, which one man pulls, a man pulling a rickshaw.
Cycle rickshaw.
Yeah. No, it was not. It was four
Ah, cart kind of thing, yes.
a cart and a single man pulling it.
Mhm.
So Malital to Talital was easy because it was a slope, but the other way around, he would find him panting, which was sad. But of course, people who needed it needed it. Or you could take a boat from one end to the of the lake to the other end, which was a bit costlier.
Mhm.
Also, if you had to go up the hills and you could not climb, like for older people or small babies or pregnant women or sick people, there would be a dandy. It was a
Mhm.
contraption made of canvas and a wooden frame, and it was carried by four people on their shoulders. But that was like only for the absolutely people who just couldn't walk
Who
or
couldn't walk at all.
badly hurt or were badly hurt. Because even people in their 90s could easily walk 5, 10, 15 miles comfortably without panting, gasping,
Yeah,
lifting.
in those days, yes.
Even now, those who live there,
Okay,
they,
because
they
of
don't,
less
yeah,
pollution. Yeah.
they're used to it. They don't gasp, through walking. My
Mm.
dad used to, go running up the hills and never never short of breath. Also, I just mentioned that on the side that their hemoglobins are like between the 17 is the average there.
Oh,
Though some of them
17.
are is on a total average of total diet of vegetarian. Most of them, though they do eat mutton, but their regular diet is vegetarian and
Okay,
not much dependence on milk either. But they have good hemoglobins. I think that's the climate and the exercise, the
that's true.
healthy place.
That's true. Yeah. Huge difference in urban centers and these kind of hilly places.
Yeah, but now they've urbanized it, so it's sad. The
Mm.
beauty of the lake was, it was dotted by colorful boats. All the boats are so colorful.
Mm-hmm.
They have a particular shape.
Mm-hmm.
So, and there are ducks all over the lake. It's a really unimaginable beauty.
Already you must be feeling nostalgic about those times,
Yeah,
beautiful times. Anyway, we have to move ahead now. So,
right.
you say that you are a late bloomer. So, what was the pull that made you a writer? When and how did you realize that writing's your calling?
I used to, must have been putting my thoughts down forever, but never counted it, threw them away. My son Sarabjit, he's uh, he's a songwriter, lyricist, singer, very talented child. And he saw something I had written somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
And he was zapped, he called me, he said, Mom, I didn't know you write so well. So I said, I don't have what I've written. And he made me promise that from now I'd keep whatever I wrote. I'd never throw anything away. And so I said, okay. But but I didn't really sincerely start because there was so much else. Then my youngest son traveled to USA and he brought me a laptop as a gift. So I created my email account and just for a start, I sent an article to the non-paying columns in Hindustan Times.
Okay.
And in 2 days it was published. So I was very excited, to see my name on somewhere in the newspaper. Then I wrote some 20, 30 more articles, all got published. So that encouraged me. I said,
Mm-hmm.
okay, that means I can write. And
Yeah.
then I was living in Haldwani for some months continually because my father was in a coma and I would like to be with him.
Mm-hmm.
That's when I started writing my memoirs because I was in Haldwani and all the memories were coming up all the time, remembering things of my childhood and other things, all things, not only of Haldwani. So I started writing my memoirs and uh, that book happened.
Yeah. Great. So once you start getting published, that's a real great motivation.
Yeah, and it just got published so simply. I didn't chase anybody. I
Mm-hmm.
met the publisher at a book fair and we
Mm-hmm.
got into a conversation and she said, you send this, I'm going to publish it. And within 4 months, it was on the stands. And it was so thrilling, Bari Sons and Jain Depot in Delhi, they had it on their top windows for 2 months. And it was popular. It was sold well. So that was very encouraging.
Fantastic. You have already impressive over three novels, short stories, four poetry collections published. Well, which genre appeals you the most and why? Please let us.
Look, I think of myself as a storyteller, basically. So prose is my uh, favorite, and I write essays too, articles too, which I have not published, but I write about things. But poetry happened. Poetry happened. I was laid up in bed with a fractured spine. So my friend Kiran Babal, she said, you can type poetry on your phone. So that's how it started.
Which year
And
was that?
that was in 2015. So I
Okay.
must have written about seven. Madan Gandhi ji, the father of huge, publications and poetry. He requested me for some poems and I gave him 10 poems. So that was about it. I was not serious about poetry. But then 2016, the NaPoWriMo was happening, the National Poetry Writing Month of the
Mm.
Significant League group on Facebook. And I joined that. I was invited by Dr. Ampit Koshi to join. And I wrote there for that whole month. And that was my very first experience of writing poetry. I mean, I cut my teeth with NaPoWriMo in TSL. And Koshi would guide me, would correct me with the poem where there was a need or whatever. And at the end of that month, they made a long list and a short list of the better poems. And I was in the long list. So I said, oh my God, for the first time in my life, I've written poetry
Mhm.
and I got acknowledged. So things kept happening which encouraged me. So after that, DSL is in my home.
I have read your poems, and they are, very close to humanity, like human issues. So, what are your recurring themes? Which themes interest you most and why?
See, all themes, anything can interest a writer.
Mm-hmm.
Everything will interest you, and you may feel like writing on it. And of course, human interest, human sensitivities are very valuable to me. And I want to write, but I'm not a fanatic about my beliefs about human relations and stuff. But yes, human human interest and human psychologies, psychology that builds up a character and which goes on to build the person's destiny in the end.
Mm,
That interests me a lot. And social issues do interest me, and I write on them.
mm,
Nature and nature and romance go a lot together.
mm.
So a bit of that when you're in a good mood and the wind is blowing and the flowers are
Yeah, good weather up
bright.
your mood.
Uh,
Yes,
so that happens, and the mangoes are in season. Then you write happy poetry.
that's
Yeah,
true.
but when something upsets you, like Pulwama happened, and
Mm.
then I write, my heart is torn apart, and I have to write it in that in a poem. I have to show my hurt and my concern for everything else. Gaza nowadays, everything.
Yeah, you have written about war,
The
about
plight
our
of
men.
a lot of, among other things, a lot of the plight of refugees. Refugees, as in, they're all good people from good families, suddenly becoming homeless for no rhyme or reason. And when I
Hmm.
see them in other countries, it's very sad.
Hmm.
So I write on them.
Well, your third novel has recently got published, Hills and Lakes. So, could you
Yes.
tell us? Sorry?
Nothing. I didn't say.
Yeah. So, could you tell us something about its theme and the stylistic measures you adopted in it?
I'll just show you the book. I have a copy. So this is the
That was
book.
on Facebook, so I saw the book
Yeah,
cover.
that's true. The plot of this novel,
Hold it up, please, for us.
okay.
Oh, no, I couldn't see it. Up a bit more higher. Yeah, that's it. Beautiful.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Congratulations for it.
Thank you. So the plot for this novel had been in my mind for a long time. There's a wedding happening in a huge resort
Mm,
on an island by the seaside. And the guests are coming from all over the world, from many countries, from many cities in India. So,
mhm,
with all the people coming in, they're all coming with different stories, different baggages, and different backgrounds. And then they mingle over there for the week that the wedding happens. So, some stories get combined, joined, friendly. Some end there, some get a new growth from there, and some grow together. So that's how the plot started. And then the story started happening. And then the stories, as they moved on from the resort, people moved back to their cities. The protagonist moves back to Delhi. And so she is wrapped up in the stories of most people. She's that sort of person who would be, and then the stories go many different ways. So some have uh, uh, yeah, it's a very, most are disturbing, though my style of writing is placid. But yes, most stories are disturbing and show the dark side of things that happen and can happen. But good things happen to resolve, or things are resolved also and end up happily also. So it's that. But the main thing is what I want to say is that human lives, human bodies, and nature both can grow together and both will crumble together. Both need nourishment, cherishing, care. If you don't look after yourself, if you are careless with yourself, you will crumble, your body will crumble, and you won't be the same.
Yes,
Same with
wonderful analogy.
nature
Yes.
is not cared for, nature is not given the right treatment it should be. If it is abused, like if you put acid on your skin, it will burn. So if you put damaging trash and chemicals on the environment, it will also burn. If you look at it that way. So that's the continuous underlying theme which grows as the book advances.
Awesome. So, a very nice theme actually. The way you have drawn a parallel between human beings and nature, and both need to be nurtured and protected.
Both depend on each other.
Yes,
Man
interdependence.
depends. Man
Yes.
depends on nature totally.
Hmm. So it has a message in it. Great. You have instituted the Nissim International Award for Literature, which is awarded every year to upcoming writers in English prose and poetry. What was the intention behind instituting this annual award besides promoting literature?
See, when I was awarded the Ruel Prize, I was overwhelmed because I was almost 65,
Mhm.
67, and I had just written one book.
Mhm.
The second was on the way, but he thought they thought it was worth being awarded. And I said, if that can be such an gratifying gift to me, what about the numerous youth, who are trying to write well and are writing well? So they
Mm.
should be awarded too. So there are two prizes. One is for the best poet, and one is for the best uh, fiction in English. And they've mostly gone to first time awardees. People who have been heavily awarded before don't come in our category. But with a couple of exclusions, of course,
Exceptions.
when they really, really deserved the their books are so good that you just cannot deny that they deserve it. But all have been first time awardees, and I'm so happy that they've all gone on to achieve many more awards after this. Their books have been published to 18, 15, 23 different languages, and it's very, I'm very happy. I mean, Guruji is really kind to us all with this. I feel gratified to see that. The boy who got the award last year, he's
Mm.
only written one book. My name is Cinnamon. Uh,
Mhm.
Vikas Joshi. It's already in 18 Indian languages, and now someone I believe in Spanish is translating it. It's
Mm.
doing so well.
So it has always proved like a good omen. So it
Of
leads to
course,
success.
Dr.
Yes.
Sunil Sharma has also the jury allotted him award last year, 23, for his immense novel Minotaur. It was absolutely became mandatory because the novel is so good. The vision of the novel, the expanse of the novel, the intensity, the integrity of the story, and the truth of his premises. I mean, I can go on. The jury, we spoke a lot about it. So it just had to go, even if he's a highly awarded writer, but he deserved it and we had to go.
Thanks for that. So we are running short of time, hardly 10 minutes more. So I would like to know that what's the cultural scene now in Delhi? It has always been a literary hub since decades. So now what's the current scenario there?
It's hot and happening.
Oh, great.
I don't think any day of the calendar would be free without any event. Somewhere in Delhi, events are happening, literary events, cultural events, ghazals,
Mhm.
singing, dance, drama. Of course, they are interminable. They go on and on. But there are so many literature. Sometimes there are 3 to 4 literature festivals in 1 month.
1 month, yeah.
Yeah, so many. And
And you are a regular there, I know that.
not in all. I mean, I just go for the
Majority of
day.
the programs you attend.
I mostly go for the day for which I am invited
Mm-hmm.
to recite or talk or take part in the discussion, because I have my family responsibilities, and with my age, I have my limitations. So it's only Setu was a rare thing. I felt it was my own. So I went. But of course, I will always try. But I do go for as many as I'm invited to.
Mm-hmm.
Book discussions, authors meets, poetry
Mm-hmm.
meets, so book clubs, a lot of activities there.
Well, before winding it up, let me ask for the valuable advice to the new generation of writers. What's your message to them?
I've given this message before, but I wonder if anybody actually listens, because uh, to be able to at all write, I mean, I give my example. I couldn't think I could be a writer. I'd
Mm-hmm.
never written, but I'd always been reading. So I think what I write comes. It had the base in what I had been reading since childhood. And today's children, young people especially, they don't have the patience to read.
Mm-hmm.
Their attention span has become so short with
Mm-hmm.
Insta. What I don't know why, but they don't want the patience to read whole books. They'll read something on Kindle, they'll bypass pages, read it quickly, and they
Yeah.
want this right.
Earlier, people used to visit libraries, borrow books, go there to return the books, borrow more. But now everything is there, handy on your
It's
smart.
there, but it's
But
not being read.
yes,
I've
that's
I met I meet lots of young people, my
mm,
children, my grandchildren, young, and we make them read. They do read. They do have reading habit, but not as much. But that their generation, the children, they're doing everything but reading, but they're writing. They're
mm-hmm.
writing. They're writing poetry. They're
Mm-hmm.
writing short stories. They're writing essays,
Mm-hmm.
and you can just. I mean, I don't know what. Uh, if to be able to write well, I think the young people should know that they have to read a lot first. They have to
Yes,
be reading a habit.
yes, they
Writing comes later.
first read the masters and then try to get.
Masters, whomever they like, Nowadays, everybody's a master, but they should read. The more they read, only then they will discern which is a better way of expressing, which is a better thought, which is a better right. How will they discern unless they read
Yeah.
a mixture of?
So we all know that Satbir Chadaji is also an excellent cook. She is a very warm host known for her hospitality. And here she is with us today telling us about her works, about her novel, about her poetry collections. We have enjoyed this chat a lot, Satbir Chadaji. I appreciate your dedication towards literature and yes, to your family as well. So it
And to
was,
my friends. And to my friends. I love my friends a lot.
mhm. So conversation was with you was very interesting, very enriching. Thanks for your quality time. Thanks, viewers. Thanks, Sadbir ji. Soon we'll be back with yet another distinguished guest. Till then, bye bye. Bye bye.